All right, and we're live. What's going on, Mitch?
What up, Bone? Roan. What do people call you? Roan? Bone?
Roan. Roan's fine. You can call me
I,
Roan
I
Bone.
usually just call you Beneath the Dirt whenever I talk about you.
It's all good.
All right. So, yeah, not much. What's up with you?
Not much. Just figure I'd do a little live stream tonight and get you on the show. Haven't had you on the show in a little bit. Haven't really done much with other people
Hmm.
in a bunch of episodes, so I want to get back with the homies and have some good convo.
Yeah, I'm trying. I need to do that too because I see you doing some stuff with Speak Your Clout sometimes, and I got to hook up with them too because those dudes are the shit as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Mike's all about your shit. He really likes your show too.
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm gonna get this link sent out. But yeah, I mean, on the news front, not much has fucking really been happening lately. Like, it's been kind of a struggle to make podcasts lately.
Yeah, last thing I talked about on my show as of this recording is the Gathering timeline, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not much. The Gathering lineup looks fucking sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of the most solid they've had in, well, I mean, the last few years have been pretty good, but ever since the whole Magic Ninja fallout and stuff, they've kind of had to get a little more creative to fill those extra slots. But hey, I mean, as much as I love some of those Magic Ninja dudes, like honestly, I don't. How can you miss them with a lineup like this? It's like it doesn't feel like anything's missing.
Right.
So yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
been
I
good.
still feel like it's Twisted will, as much as people would like to hate on Twisted, it's still kind of awkward to not see Twisted at the Gathering.
It was the first year after that because that was the Oklahoma Gathering, and that lineup was pretty weak. And that was no Magic Ninja and no Strange. So that was like slim pickings. And then on top of that, like a lot of the underground artists that I really wanted to see no showed. No Mad Child, no Jelly Roll, no Brother Lynch. So that year was kind of slim pickings. But after that, they bounced right back on their feet, I think. Last year's lineup was really good. This year's is really good. This year's has a little something for everyone. That's kind of how I look at it. Like last year's was it was almost as if I made the lineup. Like it was so many of my favorites. Hobson
Right.
was there, Ritz was there, I think Jaron Benton was there, and Ritz is there again this year. But this year it's like something for everyone. Artists that I've never even heard of that other people are psyched about. Like or artists that I just don't even really fuck with, like Suicide Boys. That's like one of the most hyped up things this year. So that's great. Like for everyone to have at least a few of those artists that they really want to see, I think it'll go over pretty well.
Yeah, I like how they did it. They got shit for the old school juggalos, people that's into old school, more older hip hop.
Hmm.
And then you got the new school shit, like you said, with Suicide Boys, Ghost Main,
Hmm.
fucking I can't remember that other Morgue City Morgue.
Yeah, no, I did. And a lot of people were telling me like, man, did you hear that Easy Mac isn't going to be there? Like I heard that like a bunch of times, and I'm what I wanted to say is like I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, and I don't care that he's not going to be there. But apparently, the fact that there's a rumor going around that Easy Mac's not going to be there, and apparently that's a big deal to people. So
Who is Easy Mac?
I don't fucking know. Someone that's playing on I think Saturday or something. I don't know. He's on the line. He's on the timeline. At least he
Oh,
was
okay.
last time I checked. They just added Liquid Assassin, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I haven't checked the timeline since they added him, so I don't know if they put him on the timeline yet. But it seems kind of weird to be adding artists this late. So I don't know if maybe that's to fill Easy Mac or whatever. But either way, yeah, point is there's all kinds of stuff on there. The thing that I was most hyped about besides the psychopathic stuff was and still is Ghetto Boys. But now you have to
Yeah.
wonder if plans are going to be changed with the passing of Bushwick Bill and all. If you ask me, and I haven't really weighed in on this because I didn't want to like make the death of Bushwick Bill all about the gathering when that's like a very small part of his legacy. But if you ask me, I say just go ahead with it with Scarface and Willie D. And hey, and Scarface has announced that he's going to be running for city council in Houston. So it kind of sounded like he's about to retire from rapping. I don't know if he is retiring or not, but if he is trying to switch lanes in his career, then the gathering would be a great send off. That's like a good place to close the book on it. Cause you know that the Juggalos at the gathering have legitimate love and respect for the Ghetto Boys.
Right.
Like they canceled that tour or whatever because of Bushwick Bill thought that they were trying to profit off of his disease. So I understand that, but you know that the Juggalos at the gathering actually get it, so
Right.
what better
Yeah.
place if they are going to close the book on the Ghetto Boys as a group, and again, I don't know if they are or not, but if that's the idea, the gathering would be the best place, I think, to do that. So
Yeah, they
I
could
say
do
go
a
ahead with it.
they could do like a dope tribute show
Totally.
to Bill. R.I.P. Bill. That shit's tragic as fuck.
Yeah, that sucked.
Pancreatic cancer is no fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
Will Willie D and Scarface get up there and rock it as a duo? Will Scarface get up there, rock it solo? Same with Willie D. I guess
that would be interesting. But I think the two of them should just go up there as a duo. So I mean, I think that would be ideal. I think that would still be lit, and people would understand that, like, the only reason Bill's not here is because he can't be here. Otherwise, he would be here. So I think the show will still be lit. Like, if this was a matter of like Bushwick Bill just backed out of it and decided he didn't want to do it, then it might be kind of lame just to see Willie D and Scarface up there. It wouldn't be lame, but it would be like the elephant in the room, like someone's missing.
Right.
But in this case, it's like, okay, well, someone's missing because he can't make it.
Right. And if
otherwise he would have been here. So
yeah, and if they don't play, I don't blame them at all. Like,
right, totally. I would, but that's like the prime slot. That was right before ICP. So if they don't play, you got to put something killer in there.
Who was scheduled
or something?
Who was scheduled before Ghetto Boys?
I don't know off the top of my head. That's a pretty good night though, but it might just be someone like Big Hoodoo or something.
Okay,
I'll check on that right now though, because now I'm
that'd
curious.
be some shit. I mean, I sincerely doubt they would get twisted to fucking.
No, they wouldn't.
And I doubt
somewhat facetious in that. Yeah, but the point is, you're going to need some kind of atomic bomb.
You're going to need a big name because Ghetto Boys are so legendary, so classic.
Really, the thing to do, I think, would just be to shuffle the current timeline and put like Tech Nine or someone in there. So, yeah, that night, Saturday, it's starting with something called Dropout Kings. Don't know what that is. Dropout Kings. Oh shit! I'm looking at the timeline right now, and they have replaced that Easy Mac guy with Liquid Assassin. So that is exactly what they did. Anyway,
Liquid Assassin is fucking dope. I
would rather see him than some dude I never heard of. Anyway, but anyway, main stage is Dropout Kings, then Big Hoodoo, then Mushroom Head, then ABK, then Jedi Mind Tricks, and then Ghetto Boys, then ICP. So they could do that. They could put Jedi Mind Tricks. That would probably be the easiest solution.
Yeah, when they announced Vinny Paz and Jedi Mind Tricks, I was really hoping we were going to get like Ill Bill and Slain and shit. That would be just to round out that like La Coca Nostra, Heavy Metal Kings, that whole clique.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think this is Vinny Paz's first gathering.
I believe it is.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, Jedi Mind Tricks fucking dope, and I'm pretty sure Juggalos fuck with Vinny Paz and Jedi Mind
big
Tricks.
time. I mean, that's the way that I know about them, because the way I know about most things is through connections to the Juggalos and stuff, and I've been hearing their names forever. So yeah, that'll definitely go over good. So yeah, if Ghetto Boys aren't there, then that would probably be the easiest thing to do. Just make Jedi Mind Tricks the opener, and that would probably go over just as well.
Fuck yeah. That'd be a good look for Jedi Mind Tricks. They would get. I mean, how packed is it that main night for the entire night leading up to ICP set? What does the crowd usually look like?
Huge. By the time ICP comes out, it's damn nearly the entire gathering that's there.
Right.
Pretty much, other than the people that stayed behind to sell drugs or whatever. But yeah,
Or
you
too fucked up
definitely
on drugs.
yeah, and the ones that are passed out. That's pretty much when you really get a good sense of how many people are at the gathering, though, is that ICP show. That's when it's the most packed. So
Right.
yeah, that'll be good. It'll be good regardless. So yeah,
I'm
that'll
curious
be
to
nice.
see what kind of news bombs they're going to drop on us at the seminar that they won't follow through with again this year.
I know I talked about this on my own podcast. Like ever since last year, I'm still like skeptical of anything they announce because half the shit is just an idea. It's never like a release date. It's always like Looney Goons. Here we are a year later. Not one more word of the Looney Goons. Not one more word of Shaggy Two Dope's book. That was something that was and literally when they announced that at the seminar last year, I heard someone behind me go, "That's never going to come out." And that person was so spot on because here we are. And maybe it will come out eventually, but it's just like they stack the deck with all these ideas, big ideas, like huge ideas.
Right.
You can't just cavalierly throw that out like, yeah, he's going to write a book. Oh, okay. Well, that's like 3 years of work or something or whatever. But it's like, we haven't even heard an update. We haven't heard like, first draft is in. It's just, as far as we know, it hasn't even been thought about since then. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you have any speculations as to any kind of announcements or anything?
I'm hoping new ICP projects, solo projects, something.
Yeah,
I want them to put out more music more consistently, more frequently. In today's day and age, you can't fucking put out an album every 4 years. You just can't.
No, we need to hear something from.
I don't give a fuck about Looney Goons. I don't give a fuck about any side project. Although they would be cool and dope to get. I want more ICP.
ICP is usually pretty good about putting stuff out. Like I think ICP is the only group on the label that actually is pretty good about putting stuff out. I mean, they only put out a new Joker's card every 2, 3, 4 years, but there's always like, I mean, don't forget I guess you said you didn't want side projects and stuff, so I guess that eliminates most of the output. But I mean, you got stuff like the Gloomy Sunday and the Brother EP and things like that trickle out. Hell's Cellar came out last year. Granted, it's B-sides, but still, I mean, they're putting out some stuff. But if you're talking just new, like straight up new, legit new ICP, yeah, that would be nice. But I'm kind of more interested in knowing what's up with Big Hoodoo and Light and ABK. Why have none of them put out a Psychopathic album in years? Hoodoo's been on the label since like what, 2014 probably, and he has 2 albums.
Right. Yeah, I was just talking to fucking Mike last night during my listening party. ABK has been on the label since 2003 and he's put out 4 albums.
Yeah, what the hell?
4 fucking albums in 16 years.
The last one, I believe, was 2011, maybe. It was Medicine Bag. It was I want to say 2010, 2011. And ever since then, there hasn't been one Psychopathic project. So
4 albums in 16 years is very inconsistent. Yeah, he puts out those feature albums and shit through Native World, but the quality's not the same. Same with Ouija Mac. I really like Gutter Water. His new project kind of missed with me. But when these artists do shit on their own, the quality isn't up to par like when they're recording shit, putting it out through Psychopathic.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're in the Lotus Pod. Mm-hmm. They got that dope fucking studio. They got whoever's the engineer.
Right.
Engineering their shit.
Straight Jacket, I think, did a lot of engineering on Gutter Water. But it's true. The quality is not as good. But also, like, ABK doesn't even put out LPs, like proper LPs on Native World. Like, if he was putting out LPs, I would kind of understand a little more what's going on, but it's like you said, the only thing he puts out is those collab albums, and sometimes like the native world roster seems to be like something of a rotating door. Like, I never really know like who's in or who's out, nor do I ever really hear about any big projects they're dropping or anything. I mean, not to say that they're not dropping projects, but it's just like doesn't have that push like, a
Right.
Psychopathic album, for instance. So,
Well, Tampon Juice is coming out July 26th.
fuck yeah. That's like, I hope that's good, because this is like the biggest push that an ABK album has had in a while, mostly because of that name, which is why it's such a brilliant name. It's got people talking.
Did you see the limited edition cover?
Yes. Awesome.
What the fuck?
It's so ridiculous. It's just funny that like after how many fucking years of Juggalos asking for Shapeshifter, and then ABK's like, oh, what's that? Tampon juice? Okay, here you go. It's like,
Right.
okay, way to give the thing that nobody asked for. But hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm super curious about what's going to be on it.
I almost feel like he's fucking trolling us with that
Oh,
shit.
you gotta be.
He's like,
brilliant.
you know what? He's probably so sick of the shapeshifter shit at this point.
Totally.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna give you tampon juice, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be good. I like his Native World albums, except for the fact that it doesn't have that polish on it, like you said, but music is good.
ABK is dope. I really like ABK. I always have. Always will.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean, back to ICP putting out music. I would count solo projects. Like I count Gloomy Sunday, the Brother EP. They've been putting out shit, but it's like rehashed, unheard shit. I want new shit, and I want them to put out new shit more.
See, that's interesting you say that, because I've thought for a long time that ICP's biggest problem is putting out too much shit. Like starting from like the Missing Link era, when they were just like putting them out, like when you had the Missing Link, when you had Lost Found and the Outtakes and the Phantom EP all within like a year or two. And I was saying, why don't we condense these four albums into one great album instead of four decent to good albums?
They're just trying to stretch it out, get the money. Records don't sell. You'll sell more records pressing up 4 albums rather than just one.
I know, but it's just like,
I'm not saying it makes it right, because other than the Phantom EP,
it's a short-sighted plan, because then people will start. I mean, it's a better look for the albums to be more quality over quantity, but be that as it may.
Right. I mean, other than the Phantom EP, we got a pile of shit.
That's pretty harsh. But
it's harsh, but it's true. I mean, in my opinion, anyway.
I don't know about trash. As long as the album has at least one, but probably like 2 or 3 good songs, then I can't call it trash. Like even if there's like one really good song on an album, then it's like, well, it's not trash, because trash goes in the trash can. If I'm keeping at least one album into my rotation, then can't call it trash. So to that end, I say the Missing Link albums are good. I'd rather listen to them on a desert island than like the new Taylor Swift shit or whatever. So to that end, it's like I can't hate on it, but yeah. Fortunate with Fred Fury, they came back strong. Like that was the win that they needed.
And that's why I want more music. If they're on this shit right now, like even Flip the Rat was a pretty solid it would have been better if they cut it maybe 3-4 tracks, made it an EP like they really wanted to originally.
Right.
They would have put out 2 really solid I still think, I mean, Flip the Rat's still good. Better than anything on fucking Missing Link.
No. It's better than anything on Missing Link.
Missing Link is so bad.
It's not so bad.
You take all 3 versions and there's 5 good songs.
Yeah, probably. But
right. So it's not, I mean,
those 5 songs are better than most of the, I mean, I thought Flip the Rat was kind of weak myself. It has some good shit on it too, but
it started out really strong and kind of veered off about midway through. But then there's a couple of strong songs at the end. Would have been a solid EP if they would have just stuck to that plan.
I agree with that. If you cut some of the song, if you made it like 4, 5, 6 tracks,
And they
What
should
did
have
they say?
waited. They should have waited till like right now, 4 months later,
Hmm.
and released it as a sideshow EP like they used to do. That would
Yeah,
have been dope.
probably. Yeah.
I mean, still
So
dope regardless because you had to go out to a record store.
I guess though, since they didn't do that, the door is still open for a sideshow EP. Like they could still do that now. A Fred Fury sideshow, since Flip the Rat is its own thing.
You know what I
You-
want?
hmm,
I want another Shaggy 2 Dope solo record. That's what I want.
already. That
Yeah,
Fuck the Fuck Off motherfucker just came out like 2 years ago.
absolutely. Fucking, he's on fire. He wasn't on Fearless Fred Fury much, but when he
Yeah,
was on it, he was
this is
killing
what
it.
I've been pushing for years, since before Fred Fury. I want a Joker's card that's as much Shaggy on it as, I don't know if I'm wording this right, as much as much Shaggy on it as as Jay is on Fred Fury, basically. Like I
Right.
want a Joker's card that's like 70% Shaggy, 30% Jay, just to switch it up, because it's usually the other way around. Like usually the closest you get is half and half, like 50% Jay, 50% Shaggy, and that's like about
That's
as balanced as it ever gets. It's never been more Shaggy than Jay, and I would like to see that just to flip it up. And he would bring his own styles and sensibilities to it. It would make it sound totally different from every other Joker's card, which is pretty much what they go for each time. Try to do something different. So
yeah, that would
that'd
be
be
dope.
awesome.
I mean, Violent J's the front man of the group,
Hmm.
always has been.
Hmm.
But if he would have step aside for a little bit for one album, that would be. I mean, that's an interesting idea. Would it ever happen? Probably not.
I think it
But
could, if they're really trying to do fucking 7 more Joker's cards, which, as I understand it, is the plan. 6, 6, and 5.
right,
So if they're trying to do 7 more, then there's plenty of room to, go outside the box.
and like we got 7 more Joker's cards coming. You can't wait 4 fucking years to
Totally.
put out a Joker's card. I just
Right.
want. I'm not saying give us a Joker's card every year. You could go back to that every other year format, but
Hmm.
give us new music in between that, whether it be solo projects, sideshow EPs, anything but unreleased music, because the unreleased music should stay unreleased. It's usually not that good.
Right. Well, at least this time around, they already seem to be thinking about the next Joker's card, which they don't usually do. They don't usually think like 2 Joker's cards ahead, but if Fred Fury really does have the name of the next Joker's card on it, which is apparently has something to do with brother, then obviously they were already thinking about the next Joker's card while they were recording Fred Fury. So probably won't take as long as Fred Fury did. That was the longest stretch between Joker's cards ever, I think.
Yeah,
Like
it
between
was
Jekyll Brothers and Shangri-La was 3 years.
three and a
And,
half.
and this was what, between 2015 and 19, so 4 years. Yeah.
The only other time that they had a name for a Joker's card at the release of an album was the Great Malenko. If you remember, if you bought all the different variations, put the puzzle pieces together, it said the 5th Joker's card will be the Amazing Jekyll
Oh,
Brothers.
okay. Yeah, that's cool. No, I either didn't realize that or forgot, but okay.
Yep.
So, well, there you go then. So,
And if now that I think about it, the Great Malenko was the 4th card. Fearless Fred Fury is the
yeah,
4th card.
parallels.
I'm going to maintain that there's a 3rd fucking Jekyll brother.
I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to see that.
Jerry Jekyll in the house, bro.
Jerry. It doesn't fit the theme. It's got to start with a J and end with a K sound.
Right.
Unless you can think of a name like that. No, I wouldn't want to see them like go back to the well of something they've already done.
No, because I mean, when artists usually do that,
Never. When has the sequel ever been as good as the original? Anytime anyone has ever done that.
Exactly. Never. Not that I could think of anyway off the top of
It
my head.
always seems like a gimmick. It always seems like, well, this is the quickest way to get some hype. Like, there's
Right.
no reason for the Marshall Mathers LP2 to be called the Marshall Mathers LP2.
What a
Call it
piece of
anything
shit
else,
album
it
that was.
automatically gets better reviews, I guarantee. Because you can't help but compare it to the original.
Yeah,
which is in the case of the Marshall Mathers LP, is like one of the greatest albums of all time. So it's like you're
Right.
only hurting yourself.
Right. Yeah. You're setting yourself up for fucking failure. You're setting the expectations way too high. But yeah, they'd have to really pull something dope out of their ass to do a Jekyll Brother. Something themed with a Jekyll Brother.
Here's one thing for sure: you would have to get Mike E. Clark. Don't even
Absolutely.
fucking think about doing it without him and like
Absolutely. Yeah, you got. I really want to see Mikey Clark. It's 2 albums now. No Mikey Clark. I want Mikey Clark back in the picture.
he'll be back. He tweets out positive things from time to
does.
time. Yeah,
Mhm.
so he's definitely on good terms there. So it would seem. I was hoping Mikey Clark would be at the fucking gathering. How awesome would that be? Put him on before ICP.
Yeah, do his little sign for what the fuck is it like scientist gimmick or whatever the fuck it is.
I mean, you could have him do a set to get the crowd hyped and then bring out ICP and keep him on there as the DJ for ICP set. That would probably get some pretty good pops.
Or even just bring him out to fucking DJ during the set. That'd be
Or,
dope.
yeah, or even just have him do anything ever. Like have him host one of the late night parties, and that would be exciting as well. So, but yeah, my guess is that they'll have Mikey Clark for the 6th of this deck, since it always felt like kind of unfinished business to me that they didn't have Mike on the Wraith albums, and now it's like this is their chance to
Make
rewrite
up for
history
it.
in a way and actually get him on the 6th. So that's what I would be thinking about if I were them.
I'm sure that might be the plan because they went so fucking hard with Bang Pow Boom and Mighty Death Pop. I mean, Mighty Death Pop, they basically recorded 3 albums. They,
Basically recorded 4 albums.
4 for
You got Mighty Death Pop and the 3 different bonus discs. Is the red and the black and
Oh,
the
right,
white.
4 albums. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They might have burnt themselves out working with each other.
Yeah, that's what they said. Even that's what both of them said. It was just like it was such a huge project that it's like we both just want to, you know,
take a break before it gets bad,
get
like
away.
it did with.
Yeah, totally. Or else you're gonna end up just being pissed at each other, like whatever happened the first time around. Still don't really know what happened there, but yeah,
I think they probably just burnt themselves out then too.
That's pretty much how it seemed. Like in Behind the Paint, he talks about it a little bit and says that
studio time just sucked.
Exactly. That's how he put it.
Yeah.
It's stuck in my head. But yeah, and then Mike did his Kid Rock thing, so he's doing just fine.
Mikey Clark is just as much ICP as Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Why? I have a feeling he'll be back because, like you said, he does tweet positive shit, and that would be dope. Mikey Clark, come back. Even though Fearless Fred Fury was dope, nobody can match that sound that he can give them.
Right. I am impressed with the bullpen they've pulled together though since him. Like now they've got options. Mike P is better than ever. Kuma killing it. Seven always killing it. Devereaux up and coming superstar. I think in the booklet for Fearless Fred Fury, the credits for Seriously Hilarious give credit to production to Dr. Punch and which is Violent J and DJ Mysterioso. And I don't know what the fuck DJ Mysterioso is, but I'm wondering if it's Shaggy since Dr. Punch is Violent J. And then you have this name I've never heard in my life, DJ Mysterioso. If so, then
I mean usually if Shaggy's doing the cuts, it just says Shaggy. I mean, unless we get some DJ Mysterioso side project coming out or some shit.
Well, I've never heard that name before or after, so maybe he just thought it would be fun to come up with a new alias. I don't know. That's purely speculation on my own part, but yeah. But still, though, that's a good sounding track. So whoever produced it, that's good. So yeah, and Straight Jacket, of course. So now at least they've got a whole bunch of options.
Yeah, they sound like they work well with Seven. I don't think anybody really doesn't sound like they work well with Seven. I think
Right.
Seven is just so versatile and
Totally.
underrated.
Yeah, he's pretty much this generation's Mikey Clark. Like he's like the next iteration of Mikey Clark, I would say.
Have you to switch it up a little bit? Have you heard Tech Nine's new album? Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
It was his best album in a while. I really didn't like the Planet album that much. And pretty much when it comes to Tech Nine, it's like if I can get like anywhere between like 3, 4, 5, 6 good songs, then I'm happy with it. Because ever since Ever Ready, which is a long fucking time ago now, but pretty much ever since Ever Ready, all the Tech Nine albums have kind of been hit and miss for me. So yeah, I liked I still like each and every one of them has at least one, but usually 3 or 4 or more really good tracks on it. And this one had more good tracks on it than the others. So I wouldn't call it a perfect album. I wouldn't even call it a great album, but it was good and better than anything he's done in a while. I don't really listen to it that much still though, but I liked what I heard the first time that I heard it.
I really like it. I've made it pretty clear. Fucking that Nina album is so fucking good. Some of the songs just bring me back to Ever Ready. What's that album? KOD. They just have that vibe, and he sounds hungry again. Whereas the last 2 albums, he just kind of sounded like he was going through the motions.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Especially with Planet, he sounded bored, like very bored on Planet.
There was a time, now I don't remember which album it was exactly, but there was a time where he was saying that he was going to retire from making music, and that was his plan. And then it turned out that he owed like a shitload of money to the IRS, and that's why he kept making albums. And that's true. That's from his mouth. So if that influences the way the music turns out, then that would probably explain it. Because like you said, it sounds like he's going through the motions. It's like, well, in some ways he kind of is, because he's trying to pay off those tax bills and all. But
right.
yeah, like you said, the new one sounded like he was actually meaning
hungry
it
again.
Yeah.
And Seven's killing the production. He actually didn't have too much production on the new Tech. I looked at the credits because I got the CD, and usually he's like producing, I'd say 75% of Tech's albums. And I don't even think he was on half of this shit, which was surprising.
Yeah, I'm looking at the track list right now. Yeah, there's some good shit. Lord of Weird, that was a good one.
Yep. I love how he's like, all these little weird motherfuckers, it's so acceptable now, but when I had my spiked red hair, I was getting fucking hated for it. And it's so true.
Yeah, it is totally true. The one with Jelly Roll was good.
That was a great song. Jelly Roll killed that.
FTI 2.0 is almost awesome, but there's like that one really annoying part in it where he does that weird shit with his voice. It sounds like his voice is cracking. He does that a couple of times in that song, and I hate that part. It kind of takes me out of that whole song.
Yeah, I really like that song. The way Strange Music is doing their music releases now, where how they're releasing like EPs before the full project. I get why they're doing that. Because streaming.
It's all about singles now. Like you don't even see a lot of the top current artists even putting out albums. It's just singles.
Right.
So that's just how it is now.
I get why they do it, but when I listened to the first 2 EPs that Tech Nine put out for Nina, you can go back to like one of my first episodes that I did, and I'm like, I don't like this. This isn't good. I'm not looking forward to Nina. Fast forward to Nina, it's my favorite album so far this year. So it's like a complete 180. Whereas I'm not getting the album how it should be originally, tracked out. And I'm just getting these random songs put together. But then when I get the album and it's sequenced the way it's supposed to be, and it sounds fucking amazing, I'm like, okay. Like UBI, I've listened to 2 songs that he's put out so far for his shit, but I'm not going to consume any more, only because I learned from the Nina thing. And I'm looking forward to UBI's solo project. I like Seskrew.
Yeah, I like them, and I like him, and I like Godimus. Does Seskrew even put out music together anymore? When's the last get like? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm genuinely asking. I don't know. Do they?
So apparently there was some sort of falling out. I forget what tour they were on, but I think they were touring with Tech, and Godimus kind of had a mental breakdown. Something, I don't know. I don't really remember, but I seen people talk about it on Twitter, and he just kind of up and left UBI hanging. But then UBI just did solo, like
I
just
saw
rocked
that
it
tour.
solo.
I went to that tour and I saw UBI there, and he said on stage, he goes, "I know what you're thinking. Where's Godimus, right?" And I don't remember what he said after that, but it wasn't any kind of like explanation. He was just acknowledging the fact that he wasn't there. So
Yeah.
I remember that happening. I went to that tour.
But yeah, from what I see now on social media, they got a new song on the album together on UBI's album,
Yeah.
and Godimus is back in the picture. I think I don't know what happened, so I'm not even going to speculate. But I think he just needed to take a time out.
Yeah, I mean that can happen. Like when your name blows up big, it can be kind of a culture shock to some people. Like it's going to rising to superstardom that way. I mean that's pretty much how it happened after they signed to Strange. They were household names,
Right?
at least for
What do,
underground. But
what do you think of the King ISO signing?
I don't really know shit about King ISO. I checked out some of his tracks after he got signed, and they seem pretty cool. But Strange puts out so much shit now that I can't even keep up with it, and I don't even feel compelled to keep up with it. It just comes out so much. I just assume that it's all pretty good. Like they don't usually put out like dog shit albums. They might put out an album that's weaker than the others or whatever, but they rarely put out something that just flat out sucks. Well,
Right.
besides, there is one name I could name, but why bother?
um,
Someone on Strange that does not fit in on Strange whatsoever.
right.
That's all I'll say.
King ISO is a dope signing. They need to find that guy that's going to replace Tech when Tech retires. They
Hmm.
they need to find that guy that's going to maintain and sell records and bring a crowd to shows. I thought Ritz was that guy, but
Hmm.
and Ritz is that guy. Ritz
Right.
is as big as Tech Nine. If you ask
Yeah,
me.
that's the trouble with finding quote unquote the next Tech Nine, because whoever the next Tech Nine is isn't gonna want to sign on Strange. They're gonna want to
Right,
be like Ritz and go do their own shit.
right.
So
Get their own money. Get a bigger piece of the cut, as they should.
yeah,
But
the only other person on Strange that would be fit to take the throne would be Chris Calico, but he couldn't do Tech numbers without Tech. So
right.
yeah,
I mean, he's inconsistent. He puts out an album every few years. I mean,
well, yeah, but
he's cons-
he's also on every single Tech Nine album. So
absolutely. I mean,
he's
yeah, he's all over the place, and he's consistently good too. That's the thing,
he's got it. He can do it all.
right? I
Multi-talent.
I've said it before. He's more talented than Tech Nine. I'm not saying necessarily he's better. Maybe in my opinion, I think he's better
He
just
has
because.
maybe a wider range of talents than Tech Nine.
Right.
Perhaps would be fair to say.
I
Didn't
mean,
you said that? Didn't you say once that Chris Calico's "Go" is the best album Strange Music has ever put out?
absolutely.
I don't agree with that. And I think that is a good album. It is really good, but best they've ever put out. That was pretty extreme for me. Caught my attention,
From
especially
what
going back to those old Tech Nine albums.
Tech Nine doesn't have a classic album.
Bullshit. He has three of them:
No.
Angelic, Absolute Power, and Ever Ready. And then you still have some really good ones like All Sixes and Sevens and KOD. Killer has some good shit on it. And then after that, it kind of gets a little sketchier. But
He has really good albums. Don't get me wrong. I love Angelic. I love Absolute Power. Love Ever Ready. Killer is, I mean, not Killer. KOD is really good. But all those albums are lacking 2 or 3 songs that shouldn't be on the album that prevent it from being a classic in my opinion.
That's interesting. I would have to look at each of those track lists and really analyze that.
And
Go ahead on that.
here's the best thing. The closest album Tech Nine has to a classic, in my opinion, is the first Collabos album, Misery Loves Company.
Interesting.
That
Nope.
album is so fucking good. There's only one kind of not good song on there. He was, that was his start of rolling out albums
Mm.
a lot, because it was a big wait between Absolute Power and Ever Ready. And then he put out that Misery Loves Company album pretty much right after Ever Ready dropped. And that's when he started getting on fire. Like, he was finding his new sound and he was working with all these new people. Seven, he was working with Seven a lot.
Right.
And that album is just so many good songs. Riding Paseo, Girl Crazy, Message to the Black Man,
Midwest Choppers, of course.
Midwest Choppers, of course. And then you got the dope party tracks, Gangsta Shap, That Box. It's just, I love that album. So good.
Yeah. Well, also, what's funny is that later on in Tech's career, when people started complaining that he was selling out during that whole phase of his career, which I've always thought was bullshit, frankly, but once we got to the point where people started calling him a sellout, I started liking Tech's quote unquote sellout tracks more than his album cuts. Like Hood Go Crazy is, to me, by far the best track on that whole album. I think, what is that on Special Effects, maybe?
Something else?
It's okay. It's one of those two.
It's
either
one of
on
those.
something
No,
else
it's special effects, I think.
That, to me, that's like by far the best track on that album, and that's the one that people call the sellout song. It's like, well, shit. If that's the sellout song, I hope they keep on selling out, brother, because that's the only one on that album that I can listen to over and over again. Pretty much. I don't know. I'd have to look at the track list, but it's definitely the standout to me.
I love that song with T.I. and Zeus.
Yeah.
That shit is hard.
Trying to remember, there's something about, maybe it's the hook or something. There was something about that song that was kind of weird to me too, but
yeah, the dude on Zeus on the hook. Have you ever seen a Mac 11?
Yeah,
that
a little
shit.
bit weird. Yeah,
it's a little weird, but
I liked the one on Planet that had the music video for it. The one that's like Jack 9, the one that's like the old throwback sound.
Yeah,
Jack 9. That was the best one on that album, I thought.
Yeah. What about the song with Lil Wayne, Fuck Food?
Don't like it. I know you like it a lot, don't you? Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
and I didn't even mind that Lil Wayne was on it. I thought the hook was a little weird. Like, I've always said that nobody hurts their own music with a bad hook more than Tech Nine. Like, there's so many Tech Nine songs where I'm listening to it and the beat is great and the verses are great, and then some weird hook kicks in and just takes me out of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But his new album, I feel like he stepped his hook game up. Chris Calico's not on it a lot, and I feel like he stepped up his hook game. Who knows? Chris Calico could have been writing them for him, but I don't know. His new album.
I like Chris Calico hooks.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they're not good, but I'm saying, like, when Tech Nine does his own hooks. Is that what you mean?
It doesn't have to be him doing his own hook. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's like some weird female singer or some weird auto-tune thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Or some, like, I don't know, that Fuck Food one's not too bad, but sometimes I'll be really vibing to a song and then the hook just gets weird and I get annoyed.
Right, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Tech Nine new album, really good.
So, well, you said that you thought the Nina album was the best album of the year, so you like that better than Fred Fury then?
I do. Yeah.
Bold.
I like Fred Fury a lot. I've been listening to it again the last couple weeks because I stopped listening to it for a little bit, just to give my mind a break from it and to see if it's really. I want to go back to it and see if I like it as much as I did the first time I heard it.
I listen
And
to it constantly, still all the time, every damn day almost. I'll listen to something from it. It's great.
I still skip the same 2 songs on it. I don't skip any other songs. I skip Low and Hothead.
Gotcha. I can listen to the whole album. The only one that we've talked about this already, but I don't like Shimmer that much. I know you like that one, so
Oh,
but
you know
still,
what?
I mean, that's pretty good for each of us to only have 1 to 2 tracks that we don't like as much as the others. Is like that's what I would call a great album.
Yeah, I can't talk bad about it.
It only takes like 6 or 7 good tracks for me to call an album good, or at least to call it not shit. So to have like 14 really good songs, pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a solid fucking album. I wish they would have. I mean, it's all opinions and what songs people don't like, but they could have switched out a couple, flipped the rap tracks, threw them on Fred Fury. I felt like they would have fit in and made the album stronger.
The only track on Flip that I would maybe justify putting on Fred is Fight Back.
I would say Fight Back and the track with Hoodoo.
That one is good too, but to be on Fred Fury, I think you would need a new hook. Like the hook is funny, but it's not like Joker's
Yeah.
Card level.
Yeah.
I do
But
like the beat and the verses in that song are really awesome though.
I thought Hoodoo killed that shit.
Yeah, he did great. He had a great verse on that. And I like the one with Ouija Mac also.
That's a good song. Splish Splash.
That one's dumb as fuck. Sorry to say. The beat is cool. I like Devereaux's production and all, but subject matter is a little too stupid for my taste.
It's a fun track.
Not Joker's Card level. Too stupid.
Yeah, I agree. And then we got the other release that dropped this year, Twisted's Generation Nightmare.
There it is.
I gave kind of a half-assed review on it when it first dropped. I get the sound that they're going for. I get it. I still like Magic Spells. I like that song. And my opinion, I don't know if you listened to my review of the album, but I said Twisted blew their load by releasing all the best songs first before the album even came out.
Probably true. Probably so. Let me I had the track list pulled up here because there was a few things I wanted to talk about.
Yep.
Shit.
You know, a lot of people are complaining, they're doing the Warped Tour sound, this and that.
Yeah, and I haven't really talked about this album too thoroughly on my own show either, so I have a lot of opinions on it that I haven't put out there yet. For one thing, everybody's saying that this is a rock album or a sellout album.
It's not.
It's not even close. For one, there's only like 4 tracks on the whole album that are just straight rock. Some of the others might have like a bit of a rock influence to them, but Twisted has always done that. Like it's no different from the stuff you would hear on Freak Show or Mirror Mirror. I mean, that was always in Twisted's DNA. This isn't some new thing that they just jumped on.
Right.
Like probably what they would have been doing the whole time if they never signed to Psychopathic. So it's like this isn't them selling out. It's them doing probably what they always wanted to be doing the whole time.
Right. They're just, and their rock sound has always changed. Freak Show was kind of like a Nine Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson bite. And then when they like up to Mutant, it just, I mean, it wasn't good. I don't know what kind of sound it was. But
yeah, I don't really. Once like there's a tipping point where the rock starts getting a little too emo for my taste. Like the stuff on Freak Show and Mirror Mirror and Green Book is like hard rock, and then somewhere around Mutant it gets a little emo, and then like Heartbroken and Homicidal, which I really like overall, has a few tracks on there that are just a little too screamo for me. So
yeah,
but either way, they've been doing rock shit this whole time. Like, if they really wanted to sell out, like people accuse them of doing, they would be doing like trap shit or mumble rap or something like that. Because like screamo isn't popular anymore, so it's like, how can you call that a sellout sound?
And they do have that trap sound on Generation Nightmare. They got songs kind of where they got those double time beats and bass heavy.
Maybe I should say EDM. Like, there's not like an EDM influence on it.
Right.
It's mostly just rock and rap. I mean,
I can't hate them for wanting to expand their sound and to bring in new audiences, but my question is, are they appealing to the wrong crowd? They're primarily a rap group, but they're pushing this magic spells thing so hard, to get radio play. They got the music video for it now. Why bring in a rock crowd when you're a rap group?
Yeah, that might be right. Like, people that want to check out Generation Nightmare because they like magic spells might be incredibly disappointed.
Exactly. And then if they go check out their back catalog, they're gonna be like, what the fuck is, where's
hold on. I can't hear you.
crowd? When Tech Nine started working with Lil Wayne, fucking go for it, dude. Get that money, get those sales. Twisted, I get it. And I like that Magic Spells record, like I said. But I think you're trying to appeal to the wrong crowd.
Well, what it appeal to the wrong crowd? Like, I think the crowd is fine. Like, if they want to listen to Magic Spells and then listen to the album and they decide they like it and now they're a Twisted fan,
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. But
no, there's nothing wrong with that. But like you said, if they are expecting that Magic Spell sound and then listen to Generation Nightmare, overall, you're not really going to get it. There are a few tracks that are like that, but overall, not really.
Right.
And
Yeah.
throughout their catalog, most of their catalog does not sound like that.
No, I'm wondering now, like, what the next album is going to sound like. Is the pendulum going to swing back towards rap, or are they just going to drive the rock thing even harder?
But that's what I was hoping this album was going to be, to be honest, because those singles, up until they released Magic Spells, every single was like, you had Sick Mind, Living at the Bottom.
Right.
And what was the other one?
Phlegm in the Windpipe.
Yeah, but that was like a rocky kind of track.
Hold on. Here with the Dead. I'm looking at the track list. That was one of
something new. Yeah. Granted, that has a weird kind of hook to it, but they're rapping on it. So I was thinking, fuck, we're going to get this hard ass rap album. Going to be dope. And then when they released that Magic Spells, it was like, oh, left turn real quick. Where the fuck are we going?
Yeah, but most of them are like, some of them have like rap verses and then rock hooks, which is a good balance for them. Like, looking at the track list here, I'm just going to go down the track list a little bit. Phlegm in the Windpipe, that's just straight rock, so I'm not really into that. Something New I like a lot. Siamese Amazement is straight rock, right? So that's one I don't really fuck with. Magic Spells I don't like. Living at the Bottom, I would say, is my favorite track on the whole album. I like that one a lot. Skit 17, I still have questions about. I'm still not sure what they're going for on that one. I don't know if it's a real track or like a joke, because they call it Skit 17, so it's like, that makes me laugh.
I don't think it has anything to do with ICP. Like, people were speculating.
I was speculating. So go on.
Yeah, I mean, I was speculating too. I was like, Skit 17, 17 is synonymous with ICP. Every, instant thought, oh, they're going to be dissing ICP or clowning on ICP, something. I don't think it has anything to do with ICP.
I think that I don't see how it couldn't. Like, with the 17 in there, it's like, what are you trying to do? Either you're making some kind of reference to ICP, or you're appropriating 17 which is also not a good thing because 17 is very distinctly an ICP thing. So it's
Right.
like you don't get to have that too, Twisted. You've already taken ninjas. You've already taken half of your roster. You can't take 17 from them as well. So I don't really know what that is about. The fact that they call it a skit when it's
A
not a
song.
skit, yeah, is like it makes me wonder if it's supposed to be taken seriously as a song or if it's some kind of a joke. So I really don't understand that still, and
Yeah, I don't really
will get any straight answer on that.
ask him at the seminar.
The seminar,
Yeah, I'm
have to do
kidding.
with the seminar.
I'm kidding.
Um, fucking yeah, someone probably will ask them. I think that's why ICP doesn't take questions at their seminar anymore because they're tired of stupid questions.
Yeah.
Don't be hating. I don't really like, and I don't really like Young Wicked at all. I know you like him a lot, but
Yeah, but that song sucked.
over him. Oh, okay, well, good. We don't agree on that then. Role models is good. That's pretty funny subject matter.
Yeah, that's probably it's one of the songs that I didn't hear before the album that I like.
Mm-hmm. Wreck is a straight rock song. If It Matters What I Think Now is a great example, I think, of a good rap song with a rock hook because it's pretty much all rap until that hook kicks in. And
Right.
even that hook is pretty hard. So I like that track a lot. For the Nightmare Children, I don't really care too much about. And then there's the Venomous 5,
Which is hard as fuck.
which is pretty good stuff.
I
So,
want like yeah, before I get into the Venomous 5 shit.
Hmm.
So I just don't understand the appeal to a rock audience member when they're gonna tune in and be like, "What the fuck?
I
This
mean,
is
the
not."
lines are pretty blurred these days. I mean, Tech Nine does a lot of rock and rap fusion as well. So if there's a market for Tech Nine, then this is, it's
Yeah,
it's a
that,
legitimate genre now. Everything's so muddied together. It's like unless you're like a weird old person like me who pretty much only likes rap music, then
right.
people will. I think. I mean, the album's doing pretty well, right? Like it's selling pretty good.
The
Black,
album was on Billboard for 4 weeks.
yeah, totally. So
I
that's
mean, when was the last time you heard of Twisted or ICP being on Billboard for multiple weeks?
right. Probably not since the Island Records days. It's
Right.
probably been that long. I don't know. Maybe the Wraith albums. Well, I don't know.
Me-
I'm talking out my ass on that, but I take your point on that. Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time these days.
And fucking congratulations for them. I mean, they outsold ICP.
It would not have happened if they were still on Psychopathic. That I can practically guarantee. If they were on Psychopathic, it would have done just the same as Fred Fury. Would have spiked one day and then never heard from again.
Exactly. And that's why they wanted to leave Psychopathic.
Yeah, that's
And
definitely part of the puzzle.
right. And that's why Ritz wanted to leave Strange Music. He hit a plateau at Strange. He wasn't going to outsell Tech Nine being at Strange because they won't let that happen, unfortunately.
Well, that's kind of a different scenario because Strange is at least like great at pushing their artists and pushing their albums. Like they pushed Ritz up to the next level to where Ritz was able to sustain on his own. Whereas Twisted, yeah, at first they were being propped up by ICP for sure, but by the time that they left, it was almost as if their success was in spite of being on Psychopathic. Like maybe that's a controversial statement, but like with Abominations, they had to push that shit themselves pretty much.
Yeah.
Really get a big push from Psychopathic. So
And that was their arguably best album that they put out.
that's arguable. I don't totally agree with that because I still prefer Most Tasteless and Freak Show.
Same.
But I would understand that argument. Like,
Yeah, like the Abominations record, how much they had advanced in their sound.
mhm,
Like produced entirely by Seven.
yep.
I mean, that record should have did Generation Nightmare numbers, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the Mighty Death Pop had just came out, and that debuted at number 4 on Billboard. And Abominations could have been top 10 or top 20, or I don't
Easily.
know what it was, but whatever it was all fucked because those pre-orders got all fucked.
That's
I know that had something to do with it. I don't really know how that works, but I guess if the pre-orders don't ship on time, then it doesn't count towards your sales because
right. I get.
it's shipped or whatever.
Yeah, they
So,
just didn't.
yeah,
Psychopathic didn't order enough physical product to
basically.
ship out, which is
So
fucked. But Twisted's doing it on their own now, and they're officially outselling ICP, which is what
do
they.
we know that they're outselling ICP? I know they've been on the Billboard charts for 4 weeks, but
The first week numbers, Fearless Fred Fury sold. Fuck, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Twisted had sold roughly 4,000 more copies than ICP did first week. And I was just listening to Tales from the Lotus Pod the other day, or Lotus Podcast rather.
Right.
CPN and Chuck Reeves were on it. They actually had a pretty good conversation. And Chuck Reeves says, this is, his information that the current numbers for Generation Nightmare is around 20,000 and Fearless Fred Fury's like 16, 17, something like that. So they're outselling ICP.
Well, consider the source. I'm not.
No, right. But I saw the numbers. We talked about it when Fearless Fred Fury first came out. I had mentioned it on my podcast. I want to say they sold like 10 or 12 and Twisted sold 14. So
I would believe it. Like it's not so outlandish that I can't believe it, but that's they push the shit hard with freaking radio tactics and all kinds of to me that whole like radio shit was kind of a corny look for them, but more power to them. Get it any way you can get it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they pushed that album fucking hard. They pushed it harder than Fearless Fred Fury, and Fearless Fred Fury is a Joker's card. But at the same time, ICP's up on World Star Hip Hop and shit, so they're pushing their shit pretty hard too.
Oh, here's a thought. I did the Generation Nightmare VIP, and it came with a Generation Nightmare CD. So is that part of the sales?
So that's why they do bundles now. That's why you're basically paying for the jersey, poster, or whatever.
Sure. Right.
And that's a record sale for them. If ICP would have included a Fearless Fred Fury as part of their bundle, that's a record sale right there. Why didn't they do that? Just throw it in there. Fuck it. Even if you already have the album, fuck it. That's a record sale.
Even if you have it, fuck it. Yeah, because I wasn't going to buy Generation Nightmare, but now I own it. So there you go. They got a sale out of me, and I wouldn't have otherwise paid for it. But people who did the Fred Fury pre-order bundles still haven't gotten their jerseys and stuff, which is pretty fucked up.
Still?
No, still. Like I think Brooklyn Menace, he does Carnival Spirits and stuff. Yeah, he hasn't gotten his pre-order shit. So it's like, why does that kind of stuff keep happening?
4 fucking months and they still haven't shipped out the jerseys?
I never got my Gloomy Sunday CD, and I did the Shaggy 2 VIP, and they were supposed to mail them out. And I asked on Twitter, like, am I the only one that hasn't gotten this yet? And I got several people telling me that they never got it either. Some people said that they did get it, but some people didn't. I didn't. So shit,
that's
like
fucking
that is
wild, yo.
Why does that keep happening?
That's wild. You never got your Gloomy Sunday shit? No. I remember when the tour first started and they were like, they don't have Gloomy Sunday CDs. I was like, what the fuck? And I just happened to luck out, and it was the first show that got the CDs. So I lucked out and got the CDs. And like you said before, we talked about it before, they were handing out 2 CDs because they ran out of laminates.
All right.
Sure enough, they fucking ran out of CDs.
For sure. So I don't know. Somebody on Twitter said that if I get in touch with Psychopathic and tell them I never got it, then they would probably send me one. But why bother? Fuck it. Ultimately I did the VIP for the meet and greet, and if they don't want to live up to their part and get those damn CDs out, then oh
That's
well.
that leaves a sour taste in your mouth, though.
It's part of the unspoken like understanding when buying things from Psychopathic, which is that you might not ever get it, which is kind of fucked up, but it's just the way that it is.
It shouldn't be accepted, though. That's bullshit.
Everybody does accept it. It's like maybe you won't get it. Maybe it'll be some kind of heinous misspelling on your T-shirt or whatever. It's just the way that it's become as accepted now. So, well, I'm not really sweating it that hard. It's just I don't understand why it keeps happening.
It shouldn't be accepted, and
well, whenever they send out a shirt that has typos all over it and shit, people just treat it like it's some kind of a cute thing, like, oh, rare misprint edition. And I always say to them, like, it's not the rare misprint edition when it happens all the fucking time.
It shows their lack of care, and
it's sloppy looking. And even Ouija,
they say they care about the Juggalos so fucking much. Send the fucking merch out.
Like I wouldn't think that it would be that fucking hard, but I don't know. That's just how it seems to be.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I mean, before it was Psychopathic merch, have you ordered anything off Psychopathic merch?
Probably.
It's a lot better now because they're actually using a fulfillment company. You actually get your shit pretty quick.
I never had a problem with Hatchet Gear. I've never
really.
No, I always got everything I ordered.
Oh wow, you're one of the lucky ones.
So I don't know what experience other people were having. I never had a problem, but you always heard about people not getting their shit. So
I always had problems.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah. There were times it would be smooth, perfectly fine, and then there's other times like a month would go by, and I'm like, dude, where the fuck is my shit? You call them up, and then they're like irritated.
I ordered. They had before the Missing Link Lost came out, there was like a special pre-order edition cover, and so I pre-ordered like 2 Missing Link albums, and I just got the regular cover, and I did tweet at them. And I said, like, what the hell? Whatever I said. And they said they would send me out the right ones. And they did. So
okay.
They fixed it. They didn't ask me to send me back my other ones. So, I mean, as long as they make it right, then it's like, it's no sweat. But
if they make it right, yeah. But they need to be more consistent.
Yeah, the people waiting on those jerseys must be getting pissed by now because those bundles were like $250 or whatever they were.
That shit pisses me off, and I'm not waiting on anything. That's bullshit. I can't believe people are still waiting for fucking jerseys 4 months later.
I mean, that was the last that I heard, but that was the last that I heard was only like a few weeks ago. So either way, it's like too fucking long.
Yeah, that's fucking unacceptable. I would fucking request a refund. Fuck that. I'd say fuck the jersey. Give me my money back.
Yeah, I probably would too. But that's why, like, I don't pre-order albums really. Not only that, but like, I pre-ordered the Missing Link Lost, and then I didn't even get it on day one, and I wanted it on day one, so I just ended up going to the store and buying it anyway. So I ended up with like 3 copies of an album that I don't even like that much. I ended up giving away like one of my limited edition covers. It's the same cover, but it's like a slipcase that has like the holographic cover on it.
Yeah. It's unacceptable. Shouldn't be tolerated. It's not fucking cute. It's not funny. That just irritates me, man.
It's irritating to me, but people don't seem to mind. Like the Ouija Mac shirt that said OUJA Mac on it, and that was part of the pre-order bundle. And it's like people don't seem to care though. They're like, yeah, that's just my limited edition misprint edition. It's like, okay, well, if that makes you happy, then more power to you. It pissed me off, but I'm not the one that pre-ordered, so
yeah, that's bullshit. If you ask me,
I thought it was bullshit, but even Ouija weighed in on it and said he didn't care. He just thought it was. But when he said that, he tweeted something about. He was like, we don't make mistakes. We make miracles on accident. Like that was his cute way of responding to it. And I looked at that and thought, okay, you think that now, but let's see where you're at 15 years from now, when you're still on psychopathic and this shit is still happening. We'll see if you think it's funny then.
There's no artist other than Twisted and Blaze that will, actually ABK is the exception, that will stay on psychopathic for as long as they did.
Perhaps.
That's Monoxide said it. I forget what interview. I think it was the No Jumper interview. He's like, that's unheard of. Nobody stays on a record label that long, and he's right. Nobody.
Totally.
Who the fuck stays on the same record label for how long were they signed? 15 years?
Yeah, at least. Yeah, since 90 fucking 6, I think.
Yeah,
up to 2012.
So, but yeah, send the fucking jerseys out. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I think they only have like not a lot of people working up there.
Still a fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah, I'm not excusing it. It's just I'm just trying to explain, come up with an explanation that I can.
Right. No, I get it, but if anybody from Psychopathic's watching the video, send the fucking jerseys out.
Assuming that what I've heard is correct. Last I heard from Brooklyn Menace, which was again some time ago, it was several months. I mean, the CD's been out for 4 months now or more. Jesus, coming up on, a little over 4 months. So it's like, seeing as if that shit should have been at their doorstep on day one.
Right.
You know,
I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure they said like the jerseys and merch were exclusive to the pre-order, and it sounded like they were going to be made to order. So I kind of got the impression that there would be a little bit of a delay, but not 4 months.
Yeah. Probably worth following up on for those people.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody's that's watching, either get your fucking money back or call Psychopathic and what the fuck is going on with my shit.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. We've been going for about an hour, and I think I'm gonna wrap this bitch up.
I mean, I can keep going as long as possible. It's up to you. You want to wrap it up? And,
yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Keep it digestible for the people. I appreciate you fucking hopping on. It's been a minute since we've done this. I always have a fucking great time when we talk Juggalo shit.
Yeah, conversation goes all over the place.
Yeah, and it's
Don Chaos in the chat here says that he just messaged Merch Now, so I wasn't keeping up with the chat, but yeah, he says Merch Now still hasn't sent me my FFF jersey from the bundle, so there you go. There's information.
Get your money back, Don.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. But yeah, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that's watching, like I said, I'll be going live randomly from now on. You never know who I'll have on as a fucking special guest. And thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Yep.